What's up? This is Draco.
And this is Alicia.
And you're now tuned in to OD
Podcast.
Oh.
Period.
Social media has really became a place, and I'm very appreciative for body positivity and people getting more recognition in the public eye for not being the perfect body size. But for me personally, like, I'm not that big. Like, I'm definitely smaller compared, people. I think I just make myself seem to be as bigger than I feel, that I don't know. I just be feeling like I'm heavy. Like, I'm so heavy. Like, even when I was just talking about that today when we were in Dominican Republic. We just randomly were talking about that video of Carisha when she was like, "Cause I don't need no life vest. Cause when I be pedaling, I'll be like, ooh. You seen that video?
No, but
okay. So anywho, that was me in Dominican Republic because we went to the Cenotes. I didn't get a life vest because in Dominican Republic, with they scamming ass, the Cenotes did not come with life vests like they did in Tulum. See, in Tulum,
what is a cenote? Is that the cave?
Yeah, the swimming
cave. Wait, it don't come with a life vest?
Not the one in Dominican Republic.
How deep is the water?
The water was 20 feet deep.
And you had to pay for a life vest?
Yeah.
Oh, no, ma'am.
So I was given, I don't need no life vest. I don't need it.
How much was it?
I don't know. I just jumped in the water. I ain't care. I know how to swim.
So 20 feet though?
Yeah.
Go to the lake there then.
The only thing is Tulum is more upgraded, and of course they have like lights in their caves, or they bring people with lights so you can kind of see. This one was kind of dark, I ain't gonna lie, but it was very clear. I'm not sure if people are familiar with cenotes, but the rocks that the cenotes are made with are cleansing rock. So when the water actually runs through the cenotes, it becomes alkaline. So it's very clean water. And that's why it's so clear. But I didn't need a life vest. But I was so heavy. It was so hard for me to pull my body across that water. Like, I was struggling after a while. I was like, oh my God.
I remember when I was taking my swimming lessons, which were a fail, they were saying that men's bodies are more dense. So y'all supposed to be able to float more easily. So
floating is not the hard part. It's the treading across the water.
Dang, I wouldn't know because I can't swim. I took swimming lessons and it didn't.
But if you notice, people who are swimmers or what they consider a swimmer's body, they're very lean. They're very skinny.
Really? I'm trying to think if I've ever seen sorry for this word, big person swim.
No.
I'm sure I have.
It's heavy. I mean, like, it was fine. Like, I was able to do it, but I was like, dang. And then the one in Dominican Republic was very, very, very authentic. So in order to get out of the cenotes, they only had a rope. So I had to pull my body out the water from a rope to get up rocks. Like, I had to climb up rocks. It was like basically rock climbing. I can't.
So this has led to you looking at yourself differently in a negative light?
Not a negative light, but I'm very active. Like, even though I am bigger, I love to do stuff. Like, I love to do stuff like that. Like, I love to hike. I love to swim. I love to ride roller coasters. When I was in Dubai, I was almost too big to ride the roller coasters, and I'm not that big. But in other countries, we're looked at as obese. So our sizes, even if you're my
Americans
size, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So of course, in other countries, people are way smaller. So the roller coasters that we were getting on in Dubai, the seats were smaller. So I couldn't really fit in one of them. But they got me in there because I'm not that big. But I was like, oh no.
Maybe also I feel like men especially, and maybe in your case, not even maybe, I'm just gonna say, but I think your weight is really just in your belly. It's not like, so it's not, if it was like, I don't want this to sound like a read, but like evenly
I know what I look like.
It wouldn't, like, you're tall, so it probably wouldn't be like that if it was just like, maybe you can get like redistribution lipo.
I'm going to try to work out first, only because the only option that I would have had for surgery would have been like a temporary sleeve or whatever it's called, like the mini sleeve.
But you ain't that darn big now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That would be my only option for surgery because I'm not really.
Yeah, I'm joking about the lipo. Please don't do that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a higher trainer. I've come to that conclusion because I'm too active, and it's a lot of stuff that I want to do. Like even with skydiving, I'm over the weight limit. So for some of them.
Okay, cause
Yeah, like it's bad. I'll talk to you off air.
Okay, you going too far.
Okay, delete it.
All
Anywho,
right. But yeah, I know
I
what you
said
mean.
all that to say that I'm gonna hire a trainer. I have 2 people in mind. I think I'm gonna go to either this guy, BMX BZ, who Light Skin Keisha go to, but I was gonna go to him last year, but I just wasn't committed. I wasn't considering it because I was unsure of my schedule. So now I think that I can kind of maneuver it because he has like a plan where you can just work out 4 times a week and it doesn't have to be the same day. So I'll just do 4 times a week, stick to a diet plan and just do that. I would
Now, how you
rather
gonna do with this diet? Because you like to eat, honey.
um
You gotta do Weight Watchers.
I'm not necessarily gonna have to do Weight Watchers. I think that what I'm gonna do is just do keto.
Back to what you mentioned about social media, where does that tie in? Like, do you feel like you compare?
So social media, whenever you express that you want to lose weight or that you want to get smaller or you're not comfortable with your body, they kind of chastise you for saying that. Like people when they lose weight and they get toned and they they feel better in their body, people get mad at them because they feel like they're basically saying that when you were bigger that was wrong or that it wasn't appealing, so that makes it everybody else's problem. But I'm like, y'all just making a problem out of it.
Oh my god.
At the end of the day, it's about your health.
Yeah.
It's not really about
you could be you could be
rather,
overweight and have way less health problems to worry about than someone who's not overweight.
Exactly. I have high blood pressure and hypertension running in my family. So if I know that I had more than one person to pass away from that in my family and that currently I have people suffering from that, why wouldn't I try to reverse that? You know what I'm saying? If I know that colon cancer is really high in Black men, why would I not try to prevent that? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pretty much every disease starts from within your stomach and it comes from the food that we eat. So why would I want to just be comfortable with being unhealthy? I don't want to be a person that grows old and just have to be baby. Like I have to be carried around in a wheelchair or my knees is fucked up, ankles is fucked up. Even down to my teeth health. You know what I'm saying? Like right now I'm focusing on getting my teeth healthy.
And your teeth communicate with your brain. Like a lot of people don't know, but some major illnesses can be tied to your dental health.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things. I mean, I just want to because in my young adulthood, my mom definitely kept me in the dentist and doctor and stuff like that. But of course, in my 20s, I definitely slacked. I ain't gonna lie. So, now I'm having problems. Now my feelings is coming out. Now I gotta, do what I gotta do to get myself back to 100% or at least 90.
Period. See your best
know what
self.
I'm saying? It is what it is. So yeah.
I feel you. I can't. Sometimes I do. I was on my BBL inquiry wave, but in reality, I don't want that. I do, and what I'm saying, I'm confident in myself, but
certain things will make you feel more comfortable.
You know what I'm saying? But
I feel that.
But I will say that social media didn't contribute to that. I used to wish there was a such thing as a BBL before there was a BBL.
Yeah.
But I hate that social media has, like, when I saw that video the other day of those girls leaving the airport in those wheelchairs from Dominican Republic, I'm like, dang, man, like, would they be concerned about getting these surgeries if the social media didn't really like glamorize the IG body, the perfect body?
For sure.
It's really sad, but I mean, it's like, how can you even, like, how can you not? You think about how Fashion Nova markets their clothing and how some of the, like, basically the main influencer girls have these surgery bodies. Like, none of these people have them. Well, some of them, a lot of them don't have that. Even the people that were blessed with beautiful natural bodies. I mean, we all are, but I mean, the ideal body, if we're talking about cosmetic wise, they getting surgery too. So they even are tampering with the body that should be praised. I think it's honestly really sad what the internet is doing to people.
Listen,
I fear that
even like with the way of thinking sometimes. But you know what? Honestly, this ain't new. Even before social media, people are sheep. They're gonna it takes you as an individual to have your own mind frame, and this is the reason why, like, I have to just pull away from social media sometimes and just pull away from certain things because I'm the type of person where I'm not easily influenced, but I'm human. So once I keep reading something over and over and over from different people, in my head, I'm going to start questioning my view on it. And I'm like, is the way I'm thinking it really the right way of thinking? Is this, you know what I'm saying? It starts to make you question yourself. And that's just me being honest, but it ain't right. Like social media is just, people are gonna just do what makes you happy at the end of the day. That doesn't make it right or wrong.
Man, I get so annoyed when I see some of these little threads on Twitter where they just saying stupid stuff. Like, I think it was this, I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, I think it was a guy that was like physically fit and he had a wife that was overweight and he had picked her up. I guess he was holding her and it was like, fellas, could you, if you were a fit man, could you date a fat woman? Women, same for you. It's like you don't pick these random people who don't have nothing to do with your mental thought process and made a whole think piece and start this whole thread on Twitter, but and indirectly are shading them when they just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I hate that. And it's like when you go to these people pages, they bio will say, I start stuff for a living, or I no, don't take my tweets seriously.
That's not funny, but when you start stuff for a living, at least
you never see them kind of pages. They bio be like,
no,
don't take my tweets seriously. 99% of them are trolls and blah blah. It's like, are you sick in the head?
It's just that people love attention.
Basically,
they love attention. They love it, and unfortunately,
it is disrupting natural societal growth. Okay.
Unfortunately, they look up to people unbeknownst to them. They look up to people like Justin LeBoy.
Oh God, I wish I could mute his memes for being posted on my Instagram.
Now I will say that his memes are funny as fuck.
Okay, but he's annoying, so I can't. Yeah. Everything he says is annoying. Especially the word respectfully should be removed from the dictionary.
Did you see his chain? Oh my God, that was dragging.
And his show is just not, I hate to sound like a basher, but the thing is, he's just not for me. That's what it is. Because I tried to watch this show and it was given 23, 24-year-old vibes. Like it was given like young, I never had this conversation before type of vibes.
Yeah.
Like I did really taboo is like, come on, y'all.
I did really enjoy the City Girls episode though.
I mean, yeah, I liked City Girls. So I watched
because I like them, but
I watched theirs and I watched the one. I watched three actually. I watched theirs. I watched the one with Sweetie because that was the first one. That was the first episode I had ever heard of. I think that was the first episode. And then I watched some of the one with Boosie, but it was just like, okay, all right. This is very out of my age bracket.
One thing about me, I hate Boosie so bad, but that man is hilarious. Let me tell you something. That video.
They say he's Instagram
he always needs something. He always begging. The part when he said, I need a giraffe, man, I need about 3 giraffes. I was on the floor.
Bro, when he was asking somebody to borrow their truck, I'm like, bro, do you really be getting this from your Instagram followers?
My thing about that is, okay, when it happens, when stuff like that happens, right? This is the reason why you have managers and assistants. What would make you not say, hey, let me ask my assistant if they can rent me a car? They're my assistant. Let me ask my manager if they can rent me a car and do this. Because, I mean, it's not their job.
They probably got suspended license.
These are the first people that will come to mind because these are people that help you do things.
They probably
what will make you get on your big platform and your big celebrity status and get on the internet, ask somebody, could you borrow their damn car for $700 or however much he said? Crazy.
I need a truck, man. I need a truck,
man. And then you think I'm finna let you borrow my car with no license and you put it on the internet?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. So
the police is gonna be, some police officer gonna be watching it. Keep in mind, he in Florida, racist ass Florida. And these people gonna see that and they're gonna like, just look out for Boosie. If he on the road, pull him over. Guess what? Yeah, pull over.
Oh my God.
It's just, I don't know. I think about stuff like that. Like you got to be real careful and real intentional when you getting on the internet. Now I know sometimes I'll post something. I'm like, now I need to delete this because I ain't gonna set myself up. But speaking about I don't know what we were talking about at first, but something had led me to speaking about JT. Well, speaking about the City Girls and JT, we're gonna move on.
Well, first we ain't even did the Black Business of the Week. We ain't did none of that ish.
You're right. I'm so ready to jump into the topic.
I see. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I
Well,
think
not topic, but
it's my turn for the Black Biz of the
it
week.
is definitely your turn, niece.
Okay, so I want to shout out my braider. So I know in the past I suggested my other braider, Sky, which I still love her, still support her, but she is a little bit further from where I live now, or I live further from her. So it's just not as convenient for me to go to her. So when I'm unable to go to Sky, I go to Iris. Her name, her Instagram name is Braids by Arrie, Braids by Arrie. And let me shout out Arrie. One thing about it, I care about service. For if I ever suggest somebody to y'all that offers a service, more than likely I don't vetted them and in my own way and decide like this is who I want to spend my money with. Now she's going to start doing taking hair appointments out of her home, but for the past few years ours comes like she goes to her client, she comes to my house, she has everything she needs to do my hair. She had a braid rack. For those who a lot of women who listen to, you don't went to the braider before and they got you holding the hair strands on your knee, on your hand. And that's fine, whatever. But ours have her she has a braid rack. She has the kettle so she can steam the water. She has a folding table for the equipment. She has everything. And it's so fun to me because when she first did my hair, it was for my birthday. Remember you came to my house in Sandy Springs and did my makeup?
Yeah.
She came to my house, my house that day and did or maybe the day before and did my braids. And it was so fun because I don't think I ever had a braid that just had a stuff together like that. Like it was like she had a Barney bag.
That's me. And I feel, you know what? I respect her for that because I hold my business to that same.
And she was a fairly new braider. She hadn't even been doing it for a while, and she's always on time, never had to wait. And she come to me. Matter of fact, she'll be early and she'll let you know, like, hey, I'm gonna be early. I'm like, okay, perfect, because whatever's going on. Because the other day I had to take my dog to the vet. And when I came back, I had a lot of free time. So anyway, I just want to shout out to Iris. She if y'all follow me on Instagram, you'll see the picture with the red background where I went to Cincinnati. She did my stitch braids, my Des Dior braids, what they call them. And then the large knotless braids I have my hair right now, she did. Now I don't have any pictures on my page with that, but y'all seen knotless braids before. But she does a great job and she's super cool. She's funny. Now I do know her because me and Draco used to work with her at Six Flags when we were in high school, but she really is a cool person. I really want to just shout her out. She is very reliable, trustworthy, and she don't carry roaches with her. Okay, that's my Black Business of the week. Her name is Iris from the West Side.
No, too far, bro.
Sorry. I was telling her about that experience the other day, but she never heard of that girl. So honestly, it's crazy the things that people don't do when it comes to servicing people, but they, I'm not here to tell people what they can and can't charge, but I do think that you need to be having some kind of itemized reasons to support that cause when you can get better elsewhere for less. That's just my opinion. But
okay, let them know.
Okay, so let's move on to shop talk, since we kind of started off with a little shop talk, but then we got a little
sidetrack. Before we start shop talk, let me just briefly share my experience with the BET Awards. So this is the first year that I didn't go in the awards, but I actually went to the awards. Now I've done people's makeup for the awards in the past, Light Skin Keisha before, and I was happy because she did make best dress from that. So this year, of course, I went with Flo Milli. It was awesome. Like the city wasn't as busy as I thought it was gonna be. It was a lot of people in LA, but I think because LA is such much more of a larger city than Atlanta, when they have events, it's definitely traffic and it's definitely busy, but it's not as bad as Atlanta. Atlanta, I mean, you can't do nothing. Like,
oh Jesus, you can't even get gas from the gas station.
No, you can't do anything. So I was like, shook about that. I'm like, wow, it's a lot of people here, but it's, they're able to maneuver and still move around. That's crazy. But I didn't get to go to the awards because of COVID. They had a very small audience.
Very small. When I saw Simone's stories and it was like 10 tables, I'm like, oh wow. I mean, that was probably for like entertainment people. It looked like there might have been some fans in the front a little bit.
Yeah, close to the stage. I wasn't giving that. So it was pretty cool though. Like I really enjoyed it. I met up with some friends out there, of course, and we hung out. But it was a really good experience. I'm so happy with the way that Flo's look turned out. Like I feel like she had one of the better looks of the weekend. Pat myself on the back and the team. We have a group text called Team Flo Milli, and we just keep encouraging each other. This was one of our first TV or major things besides like magazine covers, but this is one of our major things where everybody saw her and got to, critique our work, because we normally get critiqued, but it'd be like a little bit. But of course, when you do red carpets, we always expect the worst. But we got a lot of good compliments, and we all made the right choices, because we were so scared. I mean, we didn't know what to expect, because I mean, this year, especially in female rap, it's so many women in the game now. So it's like we already knew people was gonna come hard. So we gotta make sure that our look is A1, and we really did it. But anywho,
y'all did. Speaking of the BET Awards,
let go.
They was really coming for the girl JT.
That's what.
By way of Arrogant Tay, who has been MIA since the BET AWARDS.
Oh my.
Now I don't know.
Just talk about it. You talk. I'm gonna hear your opinion on it first, but I'm not
gonna lie to you. When I first saw JT on the red carpet, I was like, "Do she got a lineup?" I swear to God, because it wasn't even the quality. Like her hairstyle didn't look bad, but it was such a harsh line on her hairline that it looked like she got a shape up or a lineup. And so then I saw another angle, and I didn't see it like that. It didn't look that way. But then I seen that picture of her kissing Uzi, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
How come her wig, the only wig that was looking like that? It's because I know some people wanted to say it was the lighting and all that, but nobody, Carisha didn't look like that. Her mama didn't look like that. Nobody else didn't look like that.
It definitely was the lighting, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why though. And somebody pointed this out, and I want to get your opinion on this too. Okay. Because I definitely took Arrogant Tay's side in this, just because I know we all have our fuck up moments. Everything I always do.
But he got JT taking all the heat, because he ain't been nowhere. He ain't said nothing.
Yeah.
And that little video clip surfaced of him doing her hair that they had took down. I'm like, dang, but these people coming for JT, and she ain't put a darn wig on.
That's true. So it was brought. So I definitely blame the lighting, because I don't know if you looked at everybody's personal photos, even like videos, they look way better. And then you look on the red carpet, it's washed out. And I'm gonna tell you a reason why. If you ever pay attention to more mainstream award shows, they have coverings. So if you look at the Grammys, you look at the Met Gala, you look at AMA Awards, whenever they do red carpets, they know that the sun is going to wash everything out. It's going to alter the look. So they have coverings over it, so that when the flash hit from the paparazzi cameras, all these different media outlets, it'll look how it looks to us from our cameras and from our point of view of lighting. Now, it was brought to my attention, and this may well be true, because I'm like, you know what? You got a real good point from a hairstylist. She said that when it comes to Arrogant Tay specifically, he doesn't promote a lot of dark-skinned women. Let's start there. And I was like, you know what? You got a point. So whenever you're using doing darker lace, you have to do a little bit more. And you can't just use makeup. You really shouldn't even be using darker lace no more, because this is the reason why they came out with HD lace. Swiss lace, like different types of lace frontals that will blend in better with skin of different type. And they even have lace tints on top of makeup. I think that what it is that he's probably not as skilled with dark lace. And that's what happened.
It's not Reginae hair. I mean, I know JT is a little darker than Reginae, but
Reginae also hasn't been on no red carpets with an Arrogant Tay wig on.
True.
Same with JT. Okay. Same with JT. That's why I said it's the lighting. JT gets her hair done by him all the time, so I'm pretty sure he knows her head and what.
Okay, but what about the shape up?
I don't know if you've ever noticed or whatever, and it's probably because of his lighting. Once again, Arrogant Tay never cuts his lace. Like his lace on everybody, he always leaves that much lace on there.
Yeah, because when I look at the YouTubers, they go in like a little along the hairline.
Yeah,
shape.
He cuts his lace like that all the time. He plucks it, so his illusion comes in with the plucking.
I mean, I get that.
And
so it was the lace that caused the lineup look.
Yeah, that's actually the lace part. And since it was a dark lace, it blended in with her weave, with the actual hair coming out of the lace, so it looked like she just had a whole lineup. And see, the thing is, he probably does that to preserve the wig as well, because when you do cut a lot of the lace off, it's easier for it to rip. So you have to replace the lace more often than you would do if you just keep it like that. And most of
Okay.
his clients don't keep their wigs on that long. So, you know, they want to keep that wig. It's expensive. That's an investment. You know what I
no,
mean?
you're right. That makes sense. It does, but it just was so
It
ironic.
just was bad. But I wish that my only problem with that is I wish that the OGs in the game didn't act the way they did about it, because the internet already ripping the boy apart. You know what I'm saying? Like
ripping JT apart.
Ripping JT apart, and then when they found out it was Tay, now they ripping his ass apart. And they're like, a lot of people are like not convinced he did it, but he's literally on video. I mean, there's nothing
he
you can
literally
do
is,
about
and
that.
his people had it took down. So
yeah, it's literally nothing you could do about that. But Beyonce's,
you know, they faves can't do no wrong, honey.
Beyonce's hairstylist and makeup artist was dragging Tay, and I'm like, y'all too well
that's
off in the
unprofessional.
game. That y'all even doing that. They really made me like feel bad, and I end up DMing Tay. I don't know him personally. We don't follow each other, but I ended up
y'all brothers though, right?
I ended up DMing him some encouragement because I can only imagine if I was put in that, you know what I'm saying? Like if I had like a day where the lighting was wrong, and I'm dealing with Flo Milli. Flo Milli is a really deep toned woman, and one wrong move.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, what you explaining that way makes sense, but you can't tell that to Twitter.
Yeah, because they don't care about stuff. They just, in my opinion, I feel like they just look for
something to be wrong.
For somebody to
and
fuck
it's
up.
JT who's been.
And it's JT of all people.
Yeah.
Damn, JT.
I know.
Yeah, shout out to Eric and Tato.
But she was acting like she didn't care. She was like, yeah, if y'all can say my hair, my dress, but just say I'm talented or say, you know, whatever. But I don't like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna like let this die over and then say something. But I don't follow him. I don't think I've ever followed him. But people were saying like he usually posts all day long, like back to back to back, and he ain't got no updated posts, no updated stories, no nothing. And I don't like that because, you know, I get it's your work and we know you clearly know how to slay wigs. That's what's got you where you at right now. But, you know, I don't know. Just be like, look, y'all, this is what happened. And he can even break it down the way you just did. He could just use a clip from this show and post it and tell people where to find a full episode and buy merch.
Okay.
Anyways, all right, let's move on from JT. You know, I still love JT, man, even though she been, you know.
She been on one.
Yeah. Okay, what you got for Shop Talk?
Dream Doll posted today. She revealed that she got some of her hips and her butt removed recently.
I'm very happy for her.
And I'm really excited about that. I'm glad that she's being opened.
And she said this was the 4th round. And when she was on Bad Girls Club, she had a really, really big booty, surgery booty, but not the hips. And then she fixed it. She made it more even, but then it was still it looked better, but it still looked very fake. So I'm hoping that
she got sick from it. I don't know if you remember, she had to have emergency surgery.
No, I don't.
She got surgery, and she ended up having to have emergency removal surgery because she ended up getting a fat transfer and it didn't heal properly or something went wrong, and she had to have emergency surgery. So I think this is what is causing her to have this removal. She's getting all of the silicone now because she did get silicone injections.
It don't look bad from what she got in the faja and the body shaper.
Because you have to get that stuff removed.
And she's probably swollen.
Definitely, yeah. She's definitely swollen. I mean, she just got out of surgery, but she also has to get that stuff removed little by little. I mean, look at K. Michelle. She had to get her stuff removed for over 2 years. I
saw this video from a doctor on TikTok who basically talked about like the threshold or the lack of that like BBLs are done. Like it's like a small pocket that you have to put the fat in, and if you go anywhere below that, that's when you start to puncture people's lungs and blood vessels and all. Really, it's just like not worth it. And that goes back to my conversation earlier about how I really did want a BBL at one point, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna look natural on me. I don't have a body that supports hips, and which means they will have to create one, which means I might have to get more than one surgery, or I'm just gonna walk around looking like a wisdom tooth when I could just walk around looking how I look now.
I feel you. I think for me, I'm not really a fan of how lipo looks on men. I feel like it's very clocky. I prefer a more natural. I think that's the point, ain't it? Well, I'm not really with that. Like, I don't mind altering your body or altering anything that you want, you know, whatever. But I'm all for natural, and I feel like we've come to the point of life where people intentionally get fake looking things, because when you get those things, it represents wealth in a way. I can't explain it.
Yeah, because I can't understand it.
Not to us, but I'm saying it for them, for those type of people, it represents that they have money. So like say for instance, when it comes to the Claremont twins, you know, I love the Claremont twins. I'm cool with them, but I mean they are mimicking bimbofication on, you know, that look. And if you're not familiar with that, that's pretty much like what Pamela Anderson and all those type of people did back in the day. Anna Nicole, when they were just, I mean, it was cool to look like a plastic doll because that represented like money. Like, oh, you can't talk to me unless you have money. I'm rich. I can do this. I can do that. That's pretty much a thing. But realistically, that's a mental illness. I ain't trying to be
crazy, funny. And it's not cute. I mean, it's not
people
cute
do that intentionally. They love that fake look. Like I even have a guy. He's straight, and we talk about that, and I just tell him, you know how I told him we just had a conversation about plastic surgery, and I genuinely wanted to know. I said, you know, I always see people on the internet like, oh, I want my girl to have a natural body, da 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 da. And I said, these be the same men in the DMs of these girls with BBLs that got their ribs removed.
On top of that, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't even mean to. I'm gonna say after you said.
But I asked him, I said, is that a real thing? Like, do you feel like you like girls with natural bodies? He said, nah. He said, I want my bitch to look plastic. He said it just like that. He said, I want her to look plastic. He somehow, I like the fake ass and the fake titties and stuff like that. He's like, that shit is fire to me. He's like, that's what makes you a bad bitch. And I'm like, wow. So now that I know that, or that I'm hearing that from him, it makes me feel like a lot of times, a lot of women who do it and they're so show offy with it. You know what I mean by show offy? I ain't saying you can get your body done and you just, you know, whatever. You know what you luring in.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
So it's, you know, I feel like that's what they intentionally go for. And I'm like, you know what?
Man, that's sad, a lot of sense
because from a man's perspective.
To circle back to what even kicked off this surgery conversation, like in the beginning of the episode, I feel like people always say, oh, just love your natural bodies. But then when people have a natural body that doesn't look like a fake body, what do y'all do? Y'all talk about them. Y'all try to make them feel insecure. You tell them they need to get their titties done. They need to get some lipo. They need to get their butt done. Like, which one is it? It's like either have a perfect body or don't. It's like, that's really how they look at it. It's like, yeah, have a natural body, but it needs to look like this. Instead of just like how people are doing Coyle Ray about her body, who's a really pretty girl, by the way. It's just like, but if she went and got her titties done and her booty done, now y'all gonna say, see, she shouldn't let social media get to her. It was just ignore those people. It's like, how can you, for real? This is somebody who has 1 million people at some moments like saying something to her at the same time. And it's easy for one person to say you look beautiful, but as soon as somebody say you look like a boy, it just reminded her that she doesn't have the body that people are comparing her to. Exactly.
I've had people tell me that I need surgery.
Wow.
Okay. These are grown women.
A
woman. She told me this, that I needed surgery. She told me that the way that my body mass is, that I could never really be small. And she was like, you make a lot of money and you have a really big image and you're a beautiful person.
You literally have been small before. What the? Is this
Let's
person a doctor?
There, okay.
Is this person a doctor?
No.
Oh, brother.
So she was like, yeah, you should just get surgery. You should get your teeth done. That'll make you look more like money.
No, it don't make you look fake. The thing is, how you look like what happened to the discreet stuff? Like, why people like the big bright teeth? It's like that is a look that people go for. Why do you I don't understand. I guess I don't understand it. Not even I guess.
I would never understand it. I don't want to. Because
yeah,
I mean, at one point in time, you know, I did feel like I needed that stuff. Or I did feel.
Okay, so for river in about 8 years, these veneer people you got to get that stuff redone. That's why it's best to do later on in life.
So I just, you know, I had to just, I mean, it's all about being confident in yourself. And I realized, I'm like, damn, like, am I that confident? Because why am I even considering this? You know what I'm saying? So,
but you know, it's hard. I mean, the thing is, you can be confident and still kind of tap into some insecurities when it's all you see. And it's like it's like a song. If you don't like a song, but you keep hearing it, you start to like remember them words. You start to like dance to it. Like it's some of these people who might have, when the first person who started trying to popularize these big veneers, they probably like ill, but then it was like, then they look at me like, dang, I could use a little straightening in the top row. I could, you know what I'm saying? It's like little stuff you started like after my first consultation for my braces. I never even thought nothing that bad was wrong with my teeth. And now I notice everybody's teeth. I'm like, oh, they gums too high right here. Oh, they need this. They got it. I'm like,
oh, trust me. I can literally smell people's breath until they got rotten teeth in their mouth. So
that's what I'm saying. The exposure to that can tap into an insecurity you might not even realize you had, or if it wasn't even that serious. It's like I was reading something the other day about how they're 19-year-olds thinking they're supposed to be a millionaire already, thinking that somebody's supposed to be buying Birkin bags for them. I'm like, you barely even got a high school diploma, and it's just really sad that.
And then they be trying to make just kind of like, oh, if you get a Birkin, it's gonna be an investment. Y'all not using it.
Oh, shut up. That's just their way of justifying asking for it. Like, okay, that's not the only
no. Y'all not using it for that. Y'all using it as a status symbol.
Exactly.
So stop saying
stuff to
just
be
real. Like, just be real. Just say that you're shallow, and that's the only thing that's gonna make you feel complete. Be honest.
Literally, that's just what you are so right. Okay, we get it. It's an investment, but you didn't even know that when you first wanted that darn bag. Lil Nas X closed out his BET performance, kissing a man, and the homophobia in y'all jumped out.
A gay man kissing a man? Oh my God, shocking.
But I also saw a lot of like backlash from gay men as well.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
What was the issue?
You know what it is. I'm gonna talk about that because it's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing for a lot of reasons, because in this life, well, in our life, you know, we're still men, and people look at us from the outside looking in. They pretty much look at all of us the same, no matter for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Some people still have like, oh, you're this type of gay and not that type of gay. But for the most part, when you are, especially from straight men and women, but from straight men, they look at all of us the same. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much think all of us are this pretty much hyper masculine. Yeah. So when it comes to the gay guys, especially in the Black community, when they see men who don't present themselves, and I'm gonna tell you what it comes from too, because I have to check a lot of my friends about this. When they see men that they are physically attracted to and they don't really fit the description of what they like, i.e., if they're too feminine, they wear girl clothes, they wear wigs, but outside of that, you think that they're attractive and you're mad because they do that type of stuff. That has nothing to do with you, Pooh.
What you mean, like a fine dude that's
say for instance, yeah, like if you see a guy and you think that he's attractive and then he puts on wigs and he wears nails and he wears girl clothes and he, you know, do that type of stuff, they get mad at it because it's like,
they be like, dang, he gay.
But you gay too.
Oh, you talking about gay men?
Gay men say this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They get mad because they'll find the person attractive, and then they don't fit their standard of what a gay guy should be for their standards, and it's so annoying.
In reality, it's just like, okay, this person's not your type. Move on.
That's not. That's literally, it's that simple, and it's like no even deep thought about it. That's just not your type, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? If you got a preference, that's cool. But I just hate when people openly say stuff like, he's too tall to be that daggone feminine. He's too short to think that he a top and all this other stuff. Like, I have friends that say stuff like that. I'm like, why would you say that? I said, so just because, because for one, they don't have control over how their body is going to look when they come out of the womb. Like, you don't get to choose if you're tall or short. Stuff like that.
Probably a surgeon for that, but yeah, I agree.
But I'm just saying in general, like that's, you know, that's not really a choice. But if you feel compelled to just express yourself the way that you want to, I just don't understand that. And I had a whole situation this past weekend with a group of people about the exact same thing, because I was working And somebody brought to my attention, said a statement to me that was, I'm just so glad that you are just a regular gay boy and you're not extra like these other people, because I wouldn't fuck with you. I don't like stuff like that. And I said, can I ask you a question? I said, do you think that's supposed to make me feel good? I said, do you think that makes me feel like, oh, wow. I said, because I'm not really, my goal isn't to be a token black gay boy. I said, that's not really my goal. But I said, what you just did is that you just really offended my friends. I said, I have friends who are trans. I have friends who wear women's clothing and makeup. I have friends who wear, and I said, even for me, sometimes, like, I own platform shoes and I own a lot of different things from the girls' side of the store. You know what I'm saying? But
that's almost like saying you're not like them other black girls. Like,
I told them that.
You're a
And
regular
guess what they
black
said?
girl.
That's not the same thing.
It is literally the same thing.
Yes, it is. I said, that's just like me saying that I'm so glad you're not really one of them ghetto ass girls, those ghetto ass black girls, and you're one of the more classier ones.
Yep. It's the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing.
Like, how do you, when you say that to somebody, like you said, how is that supposed to make them feel good? Like, oh my gosh, thank you so much.
And I said, and I told them, I said, I ain't trying to be funny. I said, but I'm being dead ass for real. I said, I need you to never in your life ever say that to me again. I said, because that was very offensive. I said, I take stuff like that to heart just because I've been there. Like, at one point in life, I was wearing makeup and stuff on a regular. I was wearing all that, you know what I'm saying? So in my head, that's like a slap in the face to
your progress,
to my old self.
Yeah,
to my old self. And I'm gonna be honest, the whole reason why I don't do that stuff anymore is because of somebody who I was dating. And they brought up to my attention one time that they weren't comfortable with me wearing makeup. They said they don't understand why I'm getting so much recognition and love from people because I'm putting on makeup and I'm a boy that puts makeup on, but he's a rapper and he's masculine and he doesn't get any notoriety at all. He doesn't understand.
Well, maybe the skill ain't there, boo. Not for you.
Like, he really made me feel insecure about that. Because in my head, I'm like, damn, like, he really don't like me. That's how I felt.
Crazy.
You know what I'm
saying?
Like,
this is where people try to blur the line of preference. It's like, yes, you can prefer something, but when
without
you
having to shade it,
like there's this quote that I mentioned last week, not on the show, but it's basically honesty without compassion is brutality. Like, you can be honest but lack compassion, and it's going to yield negative results. It's going to make somebody feel bad. But you can come. It's like saying you get fat. Clearly, if that person's really getting fat, did you really need to tell them that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's no compassion in that. There's really no compassionate way to say that somebody's getting fat. So just don't say it. Basically, It's like, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. It's just unnecessary. And people, I like that it means it equals brutality, because people are like, oh, I'm brutally honest. Okay, so you lack compassion. You don't have any feelings. You don't care about people. You don't have no empathy. Like, you don't.
Most of the time, those are the same people that if you bring that to them about something that they're doing to you or a problem that you have with them, they're very insecure about it.
Yes, of course. And that's why they say stuff like, let me tell you something. I had a coworker / friend who literally would, if you see her and if you just have one conversation with her, like, you would just know that she was like one of the most insecure people ever. But the way she used to be so rude to people and calling people out on the same issues that she was having, like, literally was not having money to keep the lights on and stuff like that, but calling folks broke and telling folks they probably ain't got no food in the refrigerator. I'm like, you literally are living like that right now.
You don't got nothing either, Pooh. So what?
The sloppiest body, and not to body shame, but she would be somebody who would call out people's body, calling them fat. And it's like, you don't get me started. Let me tell you something. When I left that job, I was so glad to not be around her no more, because it's like, wow, this is really coming from a dark place that you have with yourself. Like, you really don't love yourself, so you taking this out on other people. I should be like, no, that's why you single. Meanwhile, I ain't had a man in a long time. Can't get a man like her. She literally would say that she's one of those people that's got to always have weave and makeup because it will make her look good. Like, you don't even love your natural self, but you out here calling out people and saying negative things to people because you brutally honest. No, you're brutally insecure.
Yeah. I think that's where it comes from. And I try to check my friends about that because I'm like, listen, I'm like, look at how you dress. I say it's a lot of people that would probably don't be comfortable with that. So you just have to realize like what you're saying is very offensive. And I've done that, and and I hate people that try. Well, you used to do this. I said, how long ago was that? That was like 6 years ago, right? I said it takes 20 minutes, not even that sometimes, for you to be informed about something and change your perspective. I mean, it doesn't take long.
That's the problem too with social media. You're right, though. It takes one time, because if you don't know, then you don't know.
Yeah. So I'm like, you can't just fault me from stuff that I did in the past because, I didn't know no better back then. But it's just weird. Like, I never understood that. Like, I never fucking understood it, how gay men can, because it's like, in a way, they're like, they keep saying like he's making us look bad, and he's making like, as far as Lil Nas, he's making us look bad.
Who is us? I mean,
how is he making us look bad? I said that's how he expresses himself. You don't have to like it.
Who was that kiss? Was it Britney Spears and Madonna?
Yeah. It was actually hours later that Megan and Carisha kissed each other on the internet.
I seen that clip. So I didn't see their lips touch, but it could definitely look like a kiss. It's just because it's a man. It's honestly sad. And I hate the whole thing, like, oh, stop trying to force that on my kids. Like, I seen this quote. It was like, you grew up watching Fresh Prince, The Cosby Show, and living single. You ain't got no house. You ain't go to college. You ain't got no wife.
And you just left the project.
You exactly. So how? So if it had a negative, it's having a negative impact on your kids, then where is the positive impact that you got from watching good stuff? It's just crazy. It's like, and I had a conversation with a friend this morning. He was telling me that he had stopped talking to a friend because she would like tweet or retweet stuff like that, like homophobic stuff like that. Because it's like these people have gay friends and are homophobic. They don't even realize it. And I used to have a mentality like that. And I have said it several times. And it's actually really sad. And I'm glad that I addressed it when I was much younger, where it was like still a learning phase for me. But I didn't think that I was saying homophobic stuff. I just thought that I just had a preference, like these 30, 40-year-old folks do. But I figured my stuff out 15 years ago. So,
period. As you should have. I'm glad that you did that.
Yes, and so just like people to say, oh, but you did that, but it's like, but I learned. And it's like, to me, it's hard for me to take I didn't know as an excuse at this age. It's just a lot of information out there, and this conversation that me and you were having has been had in several times on public fronts, private, educational platforms, workplaces and things like that. It's like you have to be and also there's some people I learned, they be scared to be right. They're being offensive because it gives them acceptance from the other people that's around them. But deep down, they don't even feel like that for real. They just saying it because they want the attention and the acceptance and the approval from their homophobic friends or people that just are just as insecure as they are.
Yeah. It's a never-ending conversation. It's something that it's honestly probably never gonna end. Hopefully with the next generation of people, we're able to bring some justice to this topic, because I mean it's really just tiring. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's been talked about for years. People still associating AIDS and HIV with only gay people.
Oh my God! Somebody told Lil Nas X, they was like, "Why you out here kissing me? You need to be raising awareness." I'm like, does he have AIDS and HIV? Like, does that something?
The boy who said that wears wigs and makeup.
I saw that. Yeah, I did.
You see what I'm saying?
But why is that his responsibility? Yes, that's something important, but that's also a stigma because gay people aren't the only ones dealing with AIDS and HIV. So why he ain't doing it? Is he doing
frustrating? It's frustrating.
It is actually frustrating.
It was Tamar chiming in on it.
What'd she say?
She was basically piggybacking off of what that man said, and I'm like, your whole existence is of a gay man. Like you literally copied your whole personality from a gay man. All of her lingo, the way that she speaks, the way that she puts her her mannerisms, the way that she talks on and all the other stuff, her glam team is all men. Her it's just like that's disrespectful. When
people say stuff when he said you should use a platform to spread awareness, okay, then he does it. Now what? Is that all he's supposed to talk about? That's where my confusion comes when people say you need to be using this to be doing that and doing that and doing that. I'm like, okay, but there's more to him than that. Like, it's just that he's obviously performing. It's a freaking performance at the BET Awards. And that was a fire performance, to be honest. But it's just, Man, I don't know, man. It's like some people you would never be able to get the message through to them, but I just hate that there's a way to get that message to millions of people at one time.
Anywho, I'll move on from that because I promise you that's a never-ending topic.
It is, honey.
It just will never go away.
We had an hour and some change.
I
did want to point in, speaking of the LGBTQ conversation, Las Vegas Raiders player Carl, I don't know if it's Nassib, is the first active NFL player in history to come out as gay.
What? I didn't know about this.
This happened maybe last week, but it was definitely before the award show. He's a white guy. But anyway, the reason why I mentioned that is because today the NFL put out this Pride commercial which says the NFL is gay, the NFL is lesbian. The NFL is basically just trying to say that they're an ally to the gay community. But wasn't there a player some years ago when he was like in high school who came out as gay and he got blacklisted? His name was Sam. Michael Sam was his name. So this article I just found says, in many ways, Michael Sam helped pave the way for Nassib. Sam's NFL career was short-lived, but his impact as a trailblazer for the LGBT plus community can't be denied. Bro, I remember when he came out as gay and how people was acting like all shocked because he's a football player, because he's masculine. That's crazy. It must be a lot of y'all down there on the low. But he didn't have a long career, and I don't know if it was because of him being gay, but the way that the NFL is showing allyship with this Carl Nassib player is just interesting. It's just interesting how times have
very performative. If I do say so myself, because they know
and
that
he's white, no shade, but that's probably has a lot to do with the acceptance.
It does. Let me tell you something, and I ain't trying to be funny. When it comes to white people and they fought and they stuff, they get a lot more leeway than we do, and that comes from their own community. Because like sad
it comes off as more gentle.
Yeah, they are. They're very more gentle with their people than we are with ours. I know that's all I'm gonna say about that.
No, you're right. Because I'm sure if it was like LeBron James, I mean, look how people treat Dwayne Wade over his daughter.
Yeah, insane. But am I surprised? Nope.
Not at all. But yeah, people were saying, oh, even when Diddy tweeted in support of Lil Nas X, people were saying, calling him gay. I mean, and who knows what he is in his private life, but it's like, dang, the man can't even be supportive. It's just wishy-washy. Don't be homophobic, but be homophobic when it's Diddy. It's just, I don't understand.
Yeah. Can we talk about the queen of pop of the 2000s, Miss Britney Jean Spears? I was just gonna bring up the fact that she spilled her tea in court, baby. Finally,
yes,
finally. I've been following this story for years because I follow her makeup artist, Billy B. Billy B is the makeup artist of the 90s. He created a lot of the looks between him and Kevin Aquan. They created some of the most iconic looks that we still do to this day. Like we stepped away for a minute, but then we back on this wave. But Billy B and Kevin Aquan, rest in peace. Let me tell you something. But anywho, aside from that, Billy B has been Britney Spears' makeup artist pretty much since she came out, and he's been trying to tell people this for years. Like he's been like exposing the family. Like his whole Instagram page is dedicated to, like, he don't even post his clients no more. He's been posting like dedications to awareness of what's going on in Britney's life for like 2 years. Like it dates back for a long time. And so I've been kind of new, and I'm like, he's not making this up. Like there's nobody, he's just making this up. The family's trying to get him to, delete stuff, and they getting posts removed, of course. But it's crazy to hear it come out of his mouth. But he did confirm after the court that she went on a vacation, that she drove herself from the courtroom, which she hasn't done in years. She drove herself away from the courtroom, and she's now on a vacation. They're trying to say that her dad is living out of an RV now. He sold their childhood home to try to make himself look poor so that he doesn't look like he's taking money from her, which is crazy as hell.
I thought that she called into court. She was on the phone.
I feel like there was a voice recording, but on the thing he said she drove herself away, child. I'm gonna send you the post.
Honestly, it was really good to hear her talk like her normal self, because that's not how she be sounding on Instagram
at all. Like that,
she be sounding draggy.
It was very fake. Like, hi guys, I burnt my basement up, but it's okay.
Yeah, and I used to think, well, maybe she's acting that way to like appease them. But when I heard her speaking in court, I'm like, this is Britney Spears.
Oh,
like, this is how we know her, huh?
His page is private. I was trying to send you the post. His page private.
It's okay. But yeah, that was honestly, I was glad to hear her speak. I was really sad to know that she was drugged, you know, and then really thought that she couldn't speak up for herself. But I really, this one of them times where the fans really looked out for the artist. It's been a long time coming, but they did not leave her in the bushes.
For sure. And I'm happy for her. Like, I'm happy that she's finally able to get justice. I really hope that the courts rule in her favor, which I really believe they will, because she's white.
Well, I don't know. They tried this before, and they said it's really hard to get out of a conservatorship. So they literally are going to go talk to her therapist that she's been speaking to all this time, which probably could work against her because she could have been under the influence when she was speaking with them.
For sure. That's crazy though. She ain't even able to drive her own man. Or
I mean, you know, I got some questions about her boyfriend though. Because it's hard for me to understand how she could be in a serious relationship. And not saying that she's not capable, but I'm just talking about the circumstances in general. And if she's not able to ride around with him, like, how do you build a relationship like that? And he just kind of looks like a fake person. Not fake like his personality, but he looks like perfect, like chiseled, like a Ken doll. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I'm just interested to see how their relationship dynamic is, because I was always wondering, like, what is he in on it? Like, because from my impression of her, it was how she was acting on Instagram. So I'm like, well, how is she in a serious relationship with this guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm about to get into it. I ain't never seen them. That's the funny part.
Yeah, she be posting them on her Instagram. Yeah, I don't know. It's just all fishy, and I can't wait till it all come out. I did see Jamie Lynn spoke out, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, a lot of folks spoke out. But you know, I just hope that positively influences the situation, man. It's really sad, and when she gets out of this, man, with the sad part is I feel like the paparazzi is still not gonna let up. Like they're gonna be basically doing the same thing. But anyway, okay. So what else we got to add?
That's all I had to add, because everything else was pretty much about the BT Awards, and I'm tired of talking about BT Awards.
All right, well, let's wrap this episode up. I got things to do. I got homework. I gotta walk my dog. I gotta clean my room. So, all right, y'all. Thank you for. I'll let your girl.
I'll let you twirl.
And your word, and your curl, and your bird, and your earl, and your smurl. I don't think I did a smurl before. We're gonna add it to the list.
All right, do it.
Bye.
Bye.